Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Movie Man Beyond. I did my top 10 Stallone, and now I'm going to do my top 10 Schwarzenegger movies. So, let's do it! Yeah, so just following like before, top 10 lists. These are my personal top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. So I'm going to give a couple honourable mentions. Eraser, I think that's a nice little espionage thriller movie. Obviously the Conan movies, Raw Deal. I do like a newer one, Sabotage. I think that's pretty cool as well. But I'm just gonna go straight in. So coming in at number 10, we have the only comedy on this list. We have Kindergarten Cop. This sees Arnold Schwarzenegger, because he's a cop and he ends up going undercover in a school as he's looking to nail this criminal that he's been after for quite a while, and hilarious things happen, and the one-liners, and the kids are great in it. So yeah, it's, if you're so used to Schwarzenegger, then you watch him in Kindergarten Cop, and it's kind of like, whoa, it does work. As we've seen with another couple that aren't on my list, like Twins and Jingle All the Way. So I'll just put this on silent. So yes, the number 10, Kindergarten Cop. Coming in at number 9, Commando. This was sort of Arnold's foray more into the bombastic, over-the-top action set pieces, and the one-man war that him and Stallone were doing at the time. I think it was sort of Schwarzenegger's attempt at a Rambo. Not that it's outrightly said, but the whole get up's the same. They both take on like armies by themselves. It has a great villain in it, Bennett, even though he's not in any like way, shape, or form as a physical threat to Arnold. He's more sort of a like a mental double-crosser guy, played by Vernon Wells. Once again, great one-liners in this. Let off some steam, Bennett. Don't disturb my friend, he's dead tired. When I told you I killed you last, Sully, I lied. It's just really fun. And as a kid, I always loved the the bit at the end where he's getting ready for the final fight, when he's zipping up and suiting up. Just really enjoyable movie. Straight up balls to the wall action movies, and eat green berets for breakfast. So that was number 9, Commando. Number 8 is True Lies. Still waiting for this one on Blu-ray. Bit of a pain in the arse. I think we've had to wait for quite some time now. I just wish, James Cameron would just like sort it out. Apparently he's going to do the transfer and go through the master, and he likes to drag his feet. I've probably got to watch another 6 Avatar movies before you even get it on Blu-ray, never mind 4K. This is a little bit of a, it sort of is a comedy as well, but it is more sort of an action drama with like spy thrown in. Arnold Schwarzenegger playing a double life as a secret agent, and I think he's a salesman or something boring that puts Jamie Lee Curtis off. Jamie Lee Curtis plays his wife, and eventually these two worlds intertwine, and once again, from his daughter and his wife not knowing what he does, and then eventually they find out at the end. I liked it, really liked it. The dynamics between Arnold and Jamie Lee Curtis. It's very sort of hard to, you know, I mean, I don't even have it on DVD anymore, but it's been a while since I've seen it, and I've always liked it, gravitated towards it, and I always thought it would have been the right movie to have a sequel. But I can't even get it on Blu-ray. But yeah, I love the opening when he's in the party, and Bill Paxton plays a phenomenal role in this. He pretends he's a spy, but he's actually got Schwarzenegger. He's like a used car salesman, and he tells Jamie Lee Curtis he's got this, like a double life, and it's dangerous, and she's doesn't feel like she's getting any attention or love off Harold, which is Arnold's character, and he's just really funny in this. Bill Paxton, hilarious. Probably, even at the end, it's quite funny. So yeah, True Lies. Like many of us, definitely want it on Blu-ray or 4K. Next in at number 7 is The Terminator, the original Terminator. Sort of Arnold's big break. He doesn't speak much in this. He plays the cyborg kill machine, the Terminator, sent back through time to kill Sarah Connor before she gives birth to her unborn child, John. And it plays a lot more into horror than an action film. The constant threat of the Terminator could be lurking around any corner. He can imitate voices. Kyle Reese says he sort of can blend in. He does blend into a fact, but he does stick out as well like a sore thumb. And it's just, I think it's very, very, I mean, even if I could watch it for the first time, I mean, back in the day it would have been something else. I mean, like, probably got a lot of people's minds thinking, and it was sort of a low budget movie at the time. Special effects, Stan Winston again, remarkable. And I just feel like the soundtrack as well, where it was this constant like stings over your shoulder, the flashbacks to the future war, just great. Really, really enjoyable sci-fi movie, in the realms of horror as well, I would have thought. But yep, that was the Terminator for me at number 7. Number 6 is End of Days, which is another horror movie. This is, for me, I think Arnold had he was going through a transition period. He'd had his peak. I think this is where he wanted to try something different. He'd done True Lies, and he was sort of floating around. I think he did Jingle All the Way, and then I don't know if it was this or the 6th Day. I think it was this. I think he was just he did Batman and Robin, and then I think he did End of Days. He'd never done a horror movie before, an outright horror movie, and I just feel as this character, Jericho, I thought he played a blinder. I thought he was very convincing, very likable. He played the loner well. The scene where he just puts all of his takeaways and all of his stuff into a blender and drinks it, I thought was pretty fucking sick. And there's the rain. Yeah, the concept of Satan and the devil, and this is where he sacrifices himself at the end to stop the devil, played brilliantly by Gabriel Byrne. Once again, got some great one-liners in this. You're a fucking choir boy compared to me. I just feel the overall tone of the film is really nice. And it was 1999, the millennium, and I always remember the poster where it was like the 999 and they had drew the 666 come off the top. Like I said, Schwarzenegger's just playing a New York cop, and it's, like I say, cults and that sort of things of that nature just works tremendously well for him, and it's a shame he didn't do any more of that. I know he did Maggie, but it's a bit tame. Next up, at number 5, Last Action Hero. I know you're probably thinking, well, he said no comedies. That's true, but it's more sort of a, what's the word, where, it's like a play. He's taken sort of the mick out of himself, really. It knows what it is. It doesn't try and be anything else. It's constantly mocking itself the whole way through. I just love the soundtrack. For me, I think it was way ahead of its time. I know it got panned when it came out. Schwarzenegger's great in this. The kid that plays Danny, he's great. There's just a lot of tangibles that work in that movie that probably shouldn't. I mean, you've got the cartoon cat, his ex-partner. You've got the East Sergeant for the steam gun of his years. You've got Robert Patrick in the cameos, the T-1000. Stallone as the Terminator in like a blockbuster rental movie. You've also got Charles Dance playing the villain. He's great as well. And Arnie's got the lines again. Can I speak to the drug dealer of the house, please? So, yes. Even Megadeth, my favourite band, they do the opening intro to Jack Slater 6 or wherever it is. I love the Jack Slater theme. I think that's just great, badass. So yes, that was Last Action Hero at number 5. Number 4, Total Recall. So yes, Total Recall. Not the poopy remake, though I have heard people say that prefer the remake over the original, which I don't understand. Total Recall is tremendous. Paul Verhoeven did RoboCop and Starship Troopers. A brilliant sci-fi movie. It's all to deal with the concept of dreams, and if you could go and pay instead of going on holiday, would you go to a dream implant place and make you think that you had been a secret agent or whatever, or you can pick your perfect romantic interest. And I just like how the film leaves you guessing at the end. Did he dream it, or did it go sideways? For me, I always tend to lean towards that he was dreaming the whole thing. I like to think that he went in there, they put him in the recall machine, and then as soon as it happened, that was it. But I guess you never know, because even at the end, that about when she says, "Oh, better kiss me," I think, before we wake up. So, it's like, you make me wish I had 3 hands. And Quaid. Just one-liners again. Get ready for a surprise. Yes, that's an absolute classic from Schwarzenegger. Coming in at number 3, into the top 3 now, is The Running Man. Absolutely love this film. Stephen King movie. Well, Stephen King novel, sorry. It won't be long probably before The Running Man is actually a real thing. Schwarzenegger's character gets framed for a murder. He massacred civilians, which is a load of bullshit. He tried to stop the people he was with from murdering them. He ends up getting thrown in this game called The Running Man, where you have to sort of fight for your life in these little different arenas against these overpowered gladiators. You and a team of 2 or 3 people, and you go through different stages like Sub-Zero, Buzzsaw, Dynamo, Fireball, I think is one of them. And he ends up overcoming the game, and he gets revenge. He gets he's, you know, justice, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I love that scenario of it could be that sort of game in real life. I mean, the way it goes, I mean, the bloodthirstiness and the way society kind of gravitates towards these things. There was a game, wasn't there, back in the day, I think, on the SNES or the Sega. I can't remember what one it was, but you used to like go through arena sort of thing, and it used to be, there was red and blue, and you used to absolutely hammer the place and used to get all the money and coins. I can't remember now what it was, but it'll probably come to me. I'll probably, you know, put a picture of it up in the corner or something. But yeah, I'm surprised there hasn't been done a remake. In the book, he actually dies at the end, but on this he doesn't. So Schwarzenegger wins. Woo! So that was number 3, The Runner Man. Coming in at number 2 is Predator. Probably one of the most manliest films ever. You know, Arnold and Carl Weathers lead a crack team of commandos in the South American jungle to retrieve, discover what happened to one of the teams, and ends up being massacred by an alien presence, which Carl Weathers sort of knows about, but doesn't really say anything. It then ends up like this big sort of horror movie as well, where there's people getting like killed and butchered left, right and centre, but there's just a lot of violence, a lot of one-liners. Jesse Ventura, you know, stick around, sue me dickhead. I don't think that's sue me dickhead, but I don't think that's in there. But you know, it's just one of those movies, and you know, the final fight with the Predator and stuff, and you realise, like, Arnold, you think Arnold's this massive man mountain, and then he comes against the Predator and you're like, holy fucking shit. And it's just good though that he outsmarts it at the end, but it's still a little bitch, the Predator. Starts putting the self-destruct sequence. It's like, hang on a second, you talk about honour, you fucking lost fair and square, and then you're like, I'm gonna fucking blow up anyways. So yeah, that's why I don't get, sorry, I'm gonna go on a little rant here, where it took Arnold and like a crack team of like commandos to even kill one Predator, yet we're gonna be meant to believe in this new movie called Prey, you're gonna have a Native American girl that weren't even allowed to be warriors in history in the tribes, and even alludes to that in the trailer, and now I expected her to take on a single Predator by herself. It's just like, no fucking way, with a bow and arrow and a knife. It's just, I just know when that's going straight on demand, because it'll just fucking fail. It's like a fart in a lift. But yes, Predator, absolute classic. Soundtrack, dun 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 dun, and when they fly in with Long Tall Sally, Little Richard blasting, just quality stuff. And finally, in at number 1, Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Probably the most perfect sequel, if not the perfect sequel ever. It surpasses the original for me by miles in terms of scope, spectacle, drama, acting, the stakes, the look of the movie, the effects. I think it's just an absolute tremendous movie, well written. I mean, the extended cut leaves so much in, and you understand why. For me, they should have ended at Terminator 2. Linda Hamilton's great as Sarah Connor. You know, Edward Furlong with John. Arnold plays a blinder as the good Terminator. Robert Patrick is absolutely a cold-blooded motherfucker in this. I mean, the whole look he had, that was enough. You know, he was a thin guy, he admits that, compared to Arnold, but it's like you said, he was like a Ferrari and Arnold was like a tank, and he was obviously, you know, I should be throwing Arnold around as well, because he was the upgraded model. And it's just a great chasing in, it's just drama, it's fantastic, there's just everything in it, there's heart, there's warmth. I mean, John trying to get the Terminator to learn how to, human emotions and that type of thing. And even at the end, like when he says, "I know now why you cry, but it's something I can never do." It's like, for me, it's like, even still, like now, it always is sad because he has to die, even though he doesn't have to. He's a Terminator, but they need to get rid of all the evidence, and then they melt them and stuff. But yeah, that was my top 10. I'm not including any of the other fucking Terminator 3, Genesis, Dark Fate. That's horrendous. I believe, for me personally, along with like, you've got the honorable mentions, 60 included. This is his best, for me, body of work, and I just feel he does have, I would say, bigger movies than Stallone on that list that I did to compare to my list, but I just feel Stallone's got more in his catalogue where you could drop into or delve into. But it is what it is. So yeah, guys, that was my top 10 Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. Hope you liked it, and stay tuned, more coming soon. Like we see, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. Watch what you're doing, guys.